Hello everyone, welcome to the second episode of CogniBios. Here is something almost nobody tells you about midlife. Your metabolism did not slow down the way you think it did. If you are in your 40s or 50s and the weight is creeping on, if the same diet that worked at 30 is suddenly not working, if you feel like your body just stopped responding, I need you to know one important thing. The problem is not that your metabolism broke. The problem is the way your body processes food has fundamentally changed, and no one explained what actually shifted or what to do about it. I'm Dr. Handa. I'm internal medicine and lifestyle medicine board certified physician, and this is CogniBios. And today we are going to talk about the midlife metabolism shift. What is actually happening inside your body and what the science says you can do to take back the control. Let me start by clearing up one of the biggest misconceptions in health. A landmark study published in Science analyzed over 6,400 people from ages 8 to 95 years. And what they found surprised everyone, including me. What they found was your basal metabolic rate, the calories your body burns at rest, stays remarkably stable from your 20s all the way through your 50s. It does not start meaningfully declining until around age 60. And even then, it is only about 0.7% per year. So if your metabolism is not the problem, why is everything changing? It's changing because metabolism is not just about how many calories you burn. It is about how your body handles those calories you eat, how it processes carbohydrates, and how it stores fat, how it uses protein, and those systems undergo a dramatic transformation in midlife. Do you remember that Stanford study I mentioned in episode 1, the one that tracked thousands of molecules across the lifespan? It found that around age 44, your body goes through a period of massive biological change. 81% of all molecule studies showed nonlinear fluctuations. And in the mid-40s, the biggest shift were in the lipid metabolism. Second one was alcohol metabolism, cardiovascular function, and your muscle and skin biology. Let me translate that into what you actually feel. Your body is becoming less efficient at processing the fats you eat. The way your liver handles cholesterol is shifting. Your cells are becoming less responsive to insulin, the hormone that moves sugar from your blood into your cells for energy. And your muscle tissue, the most metabolic active tissue in your body, is quietly shrinking. Let's talk about insulin resistance and what it is. Insulin resistance is the hidden driver. In adults with normal glucose tolerance, there is a parallel increase of fasting insulin level and insulin resistance with aging. And this is directly associated with central obesity. Central obesity means the fat around your abdomen. This is not diabetes. This is the years-long precursor to it. Your cells are gradually becoming less responsive to insulin, so your body pumps out more and more of it in order to compensate. And here is what insulin resistance does that nobody talks about. It shifts your body into fat storage mode. You eat the same food you have always eaten, but instead of using that energy efficiently, your body is now preferentially storing it as fat, especially around your midsection. For women, this accelerates during perimenopause and menopause. Estrogen plays a direct role in glucose uptake, fat distribution, and mitochondrial efficiency. As estrogen fluctuates in perimenopause and declines in menopause, insulin sensitivity drops further and fat storage shifts towards the abdomen. For men, testosterone declines at roughly 1% per year from midlife, contributing to muscle loss, increased visceral fat, and worsening insulin sensitivity. Now we're going to talk about muscle loss. So starting around your age 40, you lose roughly 1% of your muscle mass per year. Before age 50, the losses are modest, less than 10%. But between 50 and 80, you lose almost 30 to 40% of your muscle, and it is not random. You preferentially lose your type 2 muscle fibers, the fast twitch fibers responsible for power, strength, and the spring in your step. Why does this matter for metabolism? Because muscle is the primary site where your body disposes of glucose. Less muscle means less capacity to clear your blood sugar. Less muscle means lower energy expenditure. And less muscle means the surplus calories that used to be burned are now stored as fat. Research shows that this muscle-related decline in activity contributes to roughly 9 additional kilograms of fat gain between age 25 and 65, not through overeating, but through reduced ease of movement and lower daily energy expenditure. So what can we do about it? Now, here's where science gives us real hope. Every single one of these shifts is modifiable. Let me walk you through 3 most important things you can do right now. Number 1, prioritize protein. Current research shows that older adults need significantly more protein than the standard recommendation. The evidence supports about 1 to 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight per day, distributed across the meals. So 30 grams per meal to maximize muscle protein synthesis. Let's take an example of a 70 kilogram person. He will need around 84 to 105 grams of protein per day. Most midlife adults, they're not even close to this. Especially at breakfast. Morning meal is toast and coffee. Your muscles are starving. And no amount of exercise can fully compensate for inadequate protein. After protein intake, the next thing is you can build and protect muscle. A meta-analysis of resistance training in older adults found that it significantly improves insulin sensitivity, reduces fasting blood sugar markers, and decreases abdominal fat. And you do not need to live in a gym. Research shows that just 2 sessions per week of progressive resistance training produces measurable improvement in insulin sensitivity, even without a change in diet. This is the single most powerful intervention for a midlife metabolism shift. Not cardio, not cutting calories, but strength training. Because it directly addresses the root cause, that is, loss of the tissue that regulates your blood sugar. In midlife, we do have to rethink our carbohydrates. As insulin resistance develops, your body's ability to handle carbohydrate loads changes. Postmenopausal women show greater abdominal fat storage from meals and reduced fat oxidation compared to premenopausal women. This is not a reason to fear carbs. It is the reason to be strategic about them. Focus on complex, fiber-rich carbohydrates, that is, vegetables, legumes, whole grains. Pair them with protein and healthy fat to slow glucose absorption. And be very mindful of portion sizes, especially refined carbs, because your body is simply not processing them the way it used to. This is exactly the kind of tracking CogniBio's app is designed for. Snap a photo of your meal, see the macro breakdown, and understand how your food choices align with your metabolic needs at this stage of life. Here's what I want you to take away from today. Your metabolism did not betray you. Your body is going through a real, measurable biologic transition. Science understands it, and the tools to address it are not complicated. Just adequate protein intake, consistent resistance training, and smarter carbohydrate choices. You do not need to eat less. You need to eat differently. You do not need to exercise more. You need to exercise strategically. And you need to understand the rules that worked at 30 are not the rules that are going to work now. In the next episode, we are going to talk about something that connects directly to everything we discussed today: sleep. Specifically, how poor sleep literally rewires your metabolism, spikes your hunger hormones, and drives insulin resistance. And obviously, we'll talk about what to do about it. Subscribe so you do not miss it. I will see you there. Bye-bye.